for this tutorial, I'll be using my yarn, which is from a brand called Alize Superlana, my size 3.5mm hook, and my scissors. So to get started, for the measurement, I'm going to be measuring underneath my armpits, so around my armpit above my bust, and that is the measurement I'll be using for the band. So after you've gotten the measurement, what you're going to do is you're going to make a band that is wide enough to give you the measurement you just took. So for the band, I'm going to start by making a chain of 12. Chain 1. In the first stitch, go in with 1/2 double crochet. Go into the next stitch with 1/2 double crochet, and the next with 1/2 double crochet. So you just put in 1/2 double crochet in each stitch till you get to the end of the row. So I did a total of 98 rows of half double crochet. Now what you're going to do next is you're going to join the two ends of the band together. So I'm just going to stitch the two ends with a single crochet. Done joining the two ends together, what you're going to do now is you're going to go around the waistband with one single crochet. Now make sure the amount of single crochets you end up with should be in multiples of 11 plus 10. So the amount of single crochets I'm going to have would be in multiples of 11 plus 10, and I'm just going to keep on going around with one single crochet in each stitch till I get to the end of the row. So make sure the multiples is in 11 plus 10. Now I've come to the end of the row and I did a total of 131 chains. Sorry, I did a total of 131 single crochets, which is in multiples of 11 plus 10. So that's 11 times 11 plus 10. Now for the first row, you're going to start by chaining. So the second row, you're going to start by chaining 1. The first stitch, go in with 1 double crochet. Go into the next stitch with 1 double crochet, and the next with 1 double crochet. So you put in 1 double crochet in each stitch till you get to the end of the row. Now I'm at the end of the second row. So now I'm at the end of the second row and I just slip stitched into the chain 1 I did at the beginning of the row. For the third row, you're going to start by chaining 3. Yarn over. In this first stitch, go into the front post with a double crochet. Now put 1 double crochet in the next 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the 11th stitch, go into the front post with 1 double crochet. Go into the next 10 stitches with 1 double crochet in each stitch. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. In the 11th stitch, go into the front post with a double crochet. So you're alternating between double crochet in 10 stitches and a double crochet in the front post stitch. You're going to continue alternating between the 2 stitches till you get to the end of the row. Now I'm at the end of the 3rd row. Slip stitch into this chain 3 that you did at the beginning of the row. Now chain 1. From this point I'll be chaining 1 at the starting of each row. So chain 1 and go into this front post stitch with a double crochet. Now put 1 double crochet in the next 10 stitches. Now I've come to this front post stitch. Go into the front post with 1 double crochet. Go into the next 10 stitches till you get to the next post stitch. So like I said, you're just alternating between a double crochet in each stitch, and when you get to the post stitch, go in with a double crochet. You're going to continue with this, and I'll let you know how many rows I end up doing before we move to the next part of the dress. Did a total of 48 rows alternating between the double crochet stitch and the post stitch. Now I didn't do any increase for my hips, and that's because the post stitch, or rather the stitch, is stretchy enough to fit my hips properly. But if you have any reason to do an increase, maybe your hips is really wide and you want to do an increase, all you need to do is when you get the length that is long enough to fit your hips, or you get to your hips, you're going to start increasing on both sides of the dress. So you're just going to be doing an increase on the 2 sides. You're going to mark the 2 sides and do an increase on the both sides, meaning you're going to be putting 2 double crochet in each stitch for the left and the right side. So it all depends on you. You can just keep on wearing it to see if it fits, and if it doesn't fit, then you can do an increase. But for mine, I didn't do any increase because it's stretchy enough to fit my hips, so I didn't really see the point doing any increase. Now what you're going to do for the 49th row is I'm going to start increasing, and this is because I want to get the flip part of the dress. So for that, I'm going to start by chaining 1. In the post stitch, go in with 1 double crochet. Now in this stitch after the post stitch, go in with 2 double crochets. Put 1 double crochet in the rest of the stitches till you get to the stitch before the post stitch. Now in this stitch, very stitch before the post stitch, I already went in with 1 double crochet. Now go into the same stitch with another double crochet, so you have an increase. Now go into your front post stitch with a front post. In the stitch after the post stitch, go in with 2 double crochets. Continue with 1 double crochet in the rest of the stitches till you get to the stitch before the post stitch. Now in this stitch before the post stitch, go in with 2 double crochets. Go into your post stitch with a double crochet. In the stitch after the post stitch, go in with 2 double crochets. So you're going to repeat this till you get to the end of the row. In the stitch after the post stitch, go in with 2 double crochets. In the stitch before the post stitch, go in with 2 double crochets, and after the post stitch, go in with 2 double crochets. So you're doing an increase in the stitch before the post stitch and in the stitch after the post stitch. You're going to do this till you get to the end of the row. Now I've come to the end of the 49th row. In this last stitch, go in with 2 double crochets. slip stitch in this chain one you did at the beginning of the row. For the 50th row, start by chaining 1, going to the front post with a double crochet, and the stitch after the post, go in with 2 double crochets. Continue with 1 double crochet in the rest of the stitches till you get to the stitch before the next front post. Now in this stitch before the front post, go in with 2 double crochets. Go into the front post with a double crochet. In the stitch after the front post, go in with 2 double crochets. Now continue with 1 double crochet in the rest of the stitches till you get to the stitch before the next front post. So like I said, you're going to be doing an increase after the front post and an increase before the front post. You're going to continue with this till you have the length you want for your dress, and I'll let you know how many rows I end up doing. But for now, don't forget you're doing 2 double crochets after the front post, 2 double crochets before the front post and after the front post. So I did a total of 10 rows of increase, and you can make this longer or shorter depending on how you want the flare to be, but I'm okay with 10 rows, so I just did a total of 10 rows. And this is what the dress looks like. So I made a strap. I just attached my yarn at one end where I wanted my strap to be. I made a long strap on both sides. Same for this other side. I just made a strap on this end and a strap on this end and tied it. So there's no particular point in where you're going to attach your strap. You just have to wear the dress and decide where you want the strap to be. So that's it for this tutorial. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next tutorial, and please don't forget to subscribe.